I'm constantly calling people honey
babe.
and babe.
Different
That's how
men
I was
take it
raised.
different.
It has nothing to do with that. I never slept with anyone before that. Never. You constantly accused me of it, and I kept telling you, you're going to keep pushing, and it's going to happen.
Where I'm having sex with him, and they both know it. When I'm mad at him, I go to him. When I'm mad at him, I go to him. It's not a secret. At the beginning of this year, that's when we decided to be serious with this relationship.
She told me she was pregnant or whatever, so I went and got her and stuff like that. So I go through her phone, right? She telling this dude, she said, you need to pay for this abortion.
No, I didn't.
And the whole time she was never pregnant. She told me she was pregnant for me, and then she telling some other dude he need to pay for abortion.
Ms. Owens steps into the spotlight, dishing out the backstory of a whirlwind teenage romance turned sour with Mr. Raines. Picture this: young love, vows, and then boom, she's solo parenting their mini-me, Jaime. Ms. Owens is on a mission, folks, armed with the conviction that Mr. Raines knows he's daddy dearest, and she's hell-bent on proving it today. Grab your popcorn because this is just the appetizer.
Mr. Raines, you say there is no way you fathered Miss Owens' child as you were separated and living in another county when she conceived. You say Ms. Owens has named you as the father in order to save face in front of her daughter. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Suddenly, we're time traveling to the good old days when it was all stolen kisses and heart emojis. Mr. Raines gets all nostalgic about trying to be Mr. Right, tying the knot post a tragic miscarriage. But wait, Ms. Owens isn't buying his timeline tales about their daughter's conception. It's like they're dancing to different tunes. Stay tuned. The next act features a plot thicker than Grandma's gravy.
All right, so you felt like your husband was cheating. I have to ask you, were you cheating too?
No, ma'am, I sure wasn't.
I don't know.
What makes you believe she was cheating, Mr. Raines?
We went home awful lot. It's hard to believe for me to believe that she was not cheating. I mean, again, here we are today over a child, 27 years old, and the timeline don't add up.
26.
Soon be 27.
All right, whip out your detective hats because Mr. Raines is about to pull a Sherlock with a calendar as his trusty Watson. He's all, Exhibit A. This here calendar proves I was MIA during the baby-making season. The exchange gets as heated as a Thanksgiving family debate, with timelines and dates flying faster than a speeding bullet. Oh, but there's more juicy gossip ahead, so keep those ears perked.
Jamie was born July 31st, all right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is when Claire says she's pregnant.
I got pregnant in October.
This is when she's 6 days. So I left in August is when I left.
No.
I was no longer, we broke up. I was no longer with her in August.
Is your birthday July 31st, Ms. Rowe?
Yes.
But Miss Owens, you don't agree with this timeline.
No, I do not.
Grab a tissue, because Ms. Owens is about to turn on the waterworks, lamenting over Hemi's fatherless childhood and the ghost of daddy issues. It's a heart-wrenching soliloquy that might just make you hug your nearest parent figure. But don't get too soggy. The story's about to take a turn into even more tangled territories.
She did not have that.
Let's back
She
up.
had
Yeah.
my father to help me raise her. It's not fair. He has never, ever done anything for her.
And so when you gave birth, did you ask him to be there? I'm having the baby. Do you want to come to the hospital?
No.
No.
Nothing.
No. No.
Fast forward to Jamie's grand entrance to the world, and Ms. Owens is making executive decisions left and right, leaving Mr. Raines' name off the birth certificate like he's Voldemort or something. They dive into the nitty-gritty of what this means for everyone involved, especially Jaime. Buckle up. The emotional roller coaster is about to hit a loop-de-loop.
I actually took her to see him when she was 2 weeks.
There's still doubt.
Did you put him on the birth certificate, Ms. Owen?
No, ma'am, I did not.
And at that time, he was your husband?
Correct. In the state of Kentucky, you do not have to put the child father on the birth certificate. And in the state of Kentucky, you could give the child any last name you wanted.
And here comes Jaime, all grown up and just as confused as a chameleon in a bag of Skittles. She spills the tea on a bombshell convo with her mom at 12, hinting at a mysterious man B potentially being her bio dad. Mr. Raines isn't helping, planting seeds of doubt like he's gardening. Oh, the plot thickens, and you'll need a shovel for the next part.
The timeline was off, that there's this other guy that I was told.
Did your mother ever tell you?
Yeah, when I was 12. I was gonna move with Mr. Raines, and she told me that she was with someone else, that they were broke up, and I let it go because I thought, well, maybe she just don't want me moving with him. I get told by Mr. Raines 6 months ago that he didn't know if I was even his daughter or not.
Drumroll, please. The moment of truth arrives with the dramatic flair of a telenovela finale. The DNA test results are in.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Raines, you are the father.
Mr. Patrick opens the episode by explaining his predicament. In a move that might qualify for the "What Was I Thinking" award, he regretfully allowed a stranger, who later turned into a homewrecker by sleeping with his girlfriend, Ms. Pence, to crash at their place. He's in court to dispute the paternity of fraternal twins Larry and Carrie, suggesting the plot of a soap opera where the other man is the father. Buckle up, it's about to get as twisty as a pretzel.
Mr. Patrick, you say 5 years ago you made a huge mistake by opening your doors to a stranger who needed a place to stay because that man betrayed you and slept with your girlfriend, Ms. Pence. Today, you're here to prove that you didn't father Pence's fraternal twins, 4-year-olds Larry and Carrie, and the other man did.
And then, plot twist, Ms. Pence's rationale for her rendezvous sounds more like a bad rom-com excuse. She claims Mr. Patrick's constant accusations of her being a secret agent of love drove her to commit the act. This scene highlights the kind of trust issues that wouldn't be out of place in a telenovela. You might want to sit down for the next part, it's a doozy.
Wait, did you go looking for him or did you run into him?
I kind of went looking for him. Larry had continuously, from day one, accused me of cheating constantly. I had never slept with anyone else before that night. I had constantly,
so flirtatious.
That's how I was brought up. I'm constantly calling people honey and babe. That's how I was raised. It has nothing to do with that. I never slept with anyone before that. Never. You constantly accused me of it, and I kept telling you, you're going to keep pushing, and it's going to happen.
If this was a board game, we'd be sliding into some wild turns. In a courtroom maneuver that might make even a daytime TV judge blink, Ms. Pence presents a calendar as her Exhibit A to prove Mr. Patrick's paternity of the twins. The dates she circles seem to cast Mr. Patrick as the father, but the math is fuzzier than a math book in a blender. Strap in, because the roller coaster is about to go off the rails.
On November 2nd, Your Honor, is the date that me and Mr. Patrick had sex, and then on August 7th is the date that the twins were born.
That don't mean that. That's a 5-day window.
It does. The doctor had said that the twins were conceived right around the 2nd of November, Your Honor. And if you count those dates back, it only leads to Mr. Patrick.
Things just got real. Reality TV real. The story shifts as Mr. Patrick questions if his son's hyper energy might be a clue he's not the dad. It's like wondering if disliking broccoli could be hereditary. This introduces a whole new level of paternity doubt, based not on who shared the bed, but on who can't sit still in it. But wait, there's a plot twist that not even a psychic saw coming.
I think he's ADHD or something like that. You know what I mean? He doesn't listen. He's rambunctious.
He's a little boy.
I understand
Mr.
he's a little boy, and I hope he grows out of it someday. I believe he's ADHD or
There's
something.
nothing wrong with
And
Larry.
so,
how do you know that it doesn't run
I've
in your
been
family?
with you for 10 years, honey.
It doesn't matter. You don't know everything, every single thing about your family history.
You thought reality TV was wild? The climax hits with the lie detector results, revealing more twists than a bag of pretzels. Ms. Pence's claims about her one-night misadventure show more holes than a golf course, rocking Mr. Patrick's trust to its core. And just when you think it's all over, we've got one more surprise that will make your jaw drop.
Ms. Pence, you met with a licensed polygraph examiner.
Yes, Your Honor.
During the last 10 years of your relationship with Mr. Patrick, have you had sexual contact with any other man other than the man whom you admitted to cheating with?
Yes, Your Honor.
Said no. The lie detector determined you were being deceptive.
How is that?
And now for the grand finale. The episode wraps up with the DNA results stage diving into the drama, confirming Mr. Patrick as the biological father. Despite the results, the shadows of lie detector revelations and trust issues loom large, like a cloud over a picnic. But don't turn the channel yet. The after party is about to start.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Patrick, you are the father.
I told you that you was the father. I told you.
So, we kick off with a real-life soap opera called The Case of Lester vs. Lewis, where Judge Lake is about to drop the gavel on some daytime drama. Ms. Lester steps up, throwing the paternity gauntlet down on Mr. Lewis, who apparently thinks fatherhood's as negotiable as his next date. She's adamant he's the daddy of her toddler, Ryden, but he's crying foul, saying the only thing they share is a mutual dislike. And folks, buckle up, because this is just the opening act of the Drama Fest.
Ms. Lester, you opened this case against Mr. Lewis because you say he denies fathering your 21-month-old son, Raiden.
Yes, Your Honor.
Only because you won't have sex with him.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you want Mr. Lewis to step up after today's result, prove that he is the father.
Flashback time. We're on a roller coaster ride through their relationship's highs and lows, including a not-so-romantic recount of their first night together that ends in a he's lying, she's lying deadlock. There's talk of baby-making plans that apparently got lost in translation, or maybe just lost in the heat of the moment. The plot thickens, and I'm here for it, armed with popcorn.
Is this what it is?
No. It's not what it's gonna be in this courtroom.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you look crazy because you're the one sleeping with her anyway, so you're not making a point.
Thank you.
You're only making yourself look dumber. How did you even end up in a sexual relationship?
Back when I was young. We've known each other since for probably about 6, 7 years.
Oh, so you all knew each other for a long time?
Yes, we have. Seen her at a grocery store one day. She was with another man then.
Just when you thought it was all about baby mama drama, Mr. Lewis pulls the old "I'm physically incapable" card, claiming medical reasons mean he can't be Raiden's dad. But wait, there's a plot twist. Another dude's in the mix, having signed the baby's birth certificate. Our drama now has a love triangle. Or is it a square? Math's hard. Pass the popcorn.
But if you were already having sex, why do you need to say that if it isn't true? You saying it to have sex, you already having sex, so why you gotta lie?
So you know how to get a brother.
It was
Now it's your fault, Miss Lester.
It was also time.
Why y'all got to lie?
Gosh. It was also times to where we talked about this.
Ms. Lester spills the tea on why she let another man claim her baby. It's a tale of missed doctor's appointments and ignored phone calls. But she's not about to chase Mr. Lewis down. She's got a backup plan, and it involves letting someone else play daddy. This episode of Who's Your Daddy just got spicy.
Let me look in my court files, because we got a copy of that birth certificate.
Yes, he did.
Birth certificate, oh yeah, here it is, from the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Certified record of birth for Raiden
Jador.
And father's name is another man's name.
Yes, Your Honor.
You let another man sign the birth certificate when you told Mr. Lewis it was his child? Why?
Because I'm not gonna chase someone around. You knew you had this baby. Why do I have to chase you around? Why do I have to tell you this?
Oh, but the soap opera doesn't stop there. Enter Mr. Fiancé, Kevin Brown, throwing in his 2 cents and a whole lot of confusion. Is he the father? Is he just a supportive partner? The waters are muddier than a reality TV plot, and I'm snacking harder than ever.
Literally, I've been shot multiple times to where the doctors have pumped so much medicine in my body, and they told me that I couldn't have kids at all.
And since that time, you haven't fathered any other children.
No.
That's why you feel Raiden is not your biological child.
He doesn't even look like me. Just because he's light-skinned, he has none of my features at all. At all. He doesn't look like me.
Heartstrings are officially tugged as we hear about Mr. Lewis's mom falling head over heels for the little tyke. She's all in, playing Grandma of the Year. This storyline's got more layers than my Aunt Patty's dip, and every single one of them is deliciously complicated.
You got that look in your eye, Mr. Lewis, like you believe he's a potential father.
Yes, they've been on and off as long as I've known Jatoya.
He's delusional. Like, he's jealous of the fact that I'm with him. Normally, I would have him in this loop where I'm having sex with him and him, and they both know it. When I'm mad at him, I go to him. When I'm mad at him, I go to him. It's not a secret. At the beginning of this year, that's when we decided to be serious with this relationship.
Grab your tissues, folks. Ms. Lester makes a heartfelt plea for Mr. Lewis to step up to the dad plate, bringing childhood baggage into the mix. It's a moment of raw emotion that has everyone in the courtroom, and me, feeling all the feels. Who knew paternity court could be such an emotional roller coaster?
So, Mr. Lewis, I read in your court papers that your mother has fallen in love with you.
Correct.
Now, as you stand here and protest, if there's no way you could possibly be this child's father, your mother, on the other hand, has fallen in love with the beautiful baby and wants Raiden to be her grandchild.
Correct.
Mr. Lewis is hoping for a miracle, a chance to prove that amidst the circus of their relationship, there's a little guy who might actually be his. It's a touching sentiment, momentarily making us forget the Jerry Springer vibes that got us here. Fingers crossed and tissues ready, people.
Hope he come back mine, If he come back mine, I'm gonna be in his life and do what I need to do as a father.
The stakes are high because you want to change your life and you want this closure for this beautiful young man.
Correct.
And for you, it would be a miracle baby because the doctors told you you were not gonna have any children.
Correct.
Drumroll, please. The DNA results are in, and it's a bombshell.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Lewis, you are not the father.
So here's the deal. In the courtroom circus of Harvey versus Jet, we kick things off with everyone getting cozy in their seats. Mr. Harvey, feeling pretty peeved, is asking for his money back on baby gear for a kiddo he swears isn't his. Ms. Jet, on the flip side, is throwing a Hail Mary with a paternity test request, betting all her chips that Mr. Harvey is indeed the daddy. The judge rolls out the welcome mat, setting up what's clearly going to be more entertaining than daytime TV.
Mr. Harvey, you are asking the court to award you $496.52 for baby supplies you say the defendant, Ms. Jet, demanded for a child you adamantly deny is yours. Ms. Jet, in response to Mr. Harvey's suit, you have petitioned the court for the results of a paternity test.
Yes, Your Honor.
In an epic showdown of receipts versus requests, Jet hits Harvey with a baby supply list that would make a Kardashian blush. Harvey, not to be outdone, comes back swinging with receipts totaling $496.52, proving he bought everything from A to Z despite his paternity doubts. The judge's eyebrows hit the ceiling feeling as she sifts through the evidence, probably wondering if she missed her calling as a referee instead.
He was so sexually active with other women. He was cheating on me.
Okay, so there was a breakdown in the relationship,
Yeah,
and then you demanded he bring you.
I was asking him months and months and months, can he get this, can he get that? He said, no, I'm not getting you that.
I have evidence to show you that I have bought everything she said on this, everything
You
she
did not.
demanded
I
me.
asked him months
So I have
and months.
evidence.
Hold on to your hats because Harvey's got doubts thicker than a mystery novel plot. He spills the beans about Jet's sketchy behavior and a Facebook vouchpass involving another Dubai's name. Tag it on the baby's photo. Oops! As Harvey unloads his baggage of suspicion, you can't help but grab your popcorn and wait for what's next in this telenovela.
After she had the baby, she had told me the whole time she was pregnant, she was in a relationship. And another thing is she had the baby and tagged the dude name in the picture where she tagged another dude. Like, listen, if the baby mine, why didn't you tag me in the picture? Tagged another guy and say she doesn't know who the guy is.
Enter stage left, Jet's mom, adding more spice to this already sizzling saga. She tells a tale of promises made and broken, painting Harvey as the would-be knight in shining armor who apparently got lost on his way to the castle. The plot thickens as accusations fly, and you're left wondering if this story could get any more tangled. Spoiler alert, it does.
And that right there where the arrow is, that's the dude name who she tagged in the picture.
Okay, and I have...
Why would you tag another man's name on your baby's photo?
I did not tag himself in the picture by himself, and I never met him. I actually wrote the dude and I said, hey, my daughter, you tag yourself in the picture. And he said, oh, I'm sorry.
Why would this
And
guy
you don't know what you writing.
He said that maybe it was an accident that he mistakenly tagged himself in her picture.
Harvey tries to play the role of the misunderstood hero, flashing a money order like it's a badge of honor. He claims he's been Mr. Moneybags all along, but Jet's having none of it, calling his bluff. The courtroom's getting heated, and it's not just the lack of air conditioning.
And a receipt for the money order, and that was $100. And then when she was pregnant, I went shopping.
So you say you gave her cash
maternity.
multiple times, but you just have a receipt for one money order? Has he given you any other? So he hasn't given you money multiple times, but he has given you this $100.
Yes, he has.
Just when you thought it was safe to go back into the water, the battle over baby bucks turns into an all-out war. Harvey's suing for diaper dough, while Jet counters with a ledger that makes the national debt look like chump change. The judge, probably contemplating a career change by now, tries to cut through the chaos with the patience of a saint and the determination of a seasoned bargain shopper.
Ms. Jet, you claim that what he's given you is merely a drop in the bucket.
It's really nothing.
And these are your real expenses.
Yes,
as
it is.
relates to your daughter.
I provide all these things by myself.
State provided. I'm telling you, the feeding alone, the state provides. She get wigged. The state provides all that 800 something.
In a plot twist no one saw coming, Harvey's aunt throws down the family gauntlet, claiming their genes are so dominant they should be trademarked. She's convinced the baby couldn't possibly be a Harvey because, well, it doesn't look like it won the genetic lottery. As the family resemblance argument unfolds, you're left wondering if there's a Maury Povich cameo on the horizon.
After she had the baby, she was trying to get pregnant again. She told me she was pregnant or whatever, so I went and got her and stuff like that. She telling this dude, she said, you need to pay for this abortion.
No, I didn't.
And then she telling some other dude he need to pay for abortion.
Is it your contention that you were not intimate? Anyone else during the window of conception?
No, I was not. I was only with him and I was living with him at the time.
Drum roll, please. The paternity test results are in, and in a shocking turn of events that nobody, except maybe everyone, saw coming.
Mr. Harvey, you are not her father.
That's fine.
Ms. Jet, you so diplomatic now.
Because, no, listen, Your Honor, listen,
I just witnessed probably about 30 minutes of you taking this young man through the ringer. You went straight into politician mode. Are we okay? Shaking hands and kissing babies.